Godfather, your guests have arrived.
Bring them in. So, you, my close friends, you come to me on a Wednesday. You want half-price beer and wine and appetizers? Why?
Yes, Don LaRusso, we hear your 5 to 7 happy hour is very generous.
And your $5 martini, a thing of beauty.
You've all been friends of the family, each and every one of you. And family is always welcome in my cucina. Salute!
Take it easy.
Hi, I'm Ray with Wild Wine Life on the Odd TV network. Coming up next, Mike Jones, the tackle, joins us. Hi, welcome back to Wild Wine Life. I'm Ray. We're just hanging out with Mr. Mike Jones of the St. Louis Rams, enjoying some wine and a wonderful conversation. A little background on Mike. You were born April 15th, so a early happy birthday.
Thank you.
We're not going to say what year.
That's
We're
okay.
both 39.
There you go.
You are number 5 of 9 kids.
Yep,
And as you've described, the oldest of the second group.
that's correct.
You grew up in Kansas City, Missouri. You attended Kansas City Southwest High School, and you were one of the first two to get a Division I scholarship to Mizzou.
That's correct.
You played baseball, and you had a love for it, but unfortunately, your high school didn't have a baseball program.
Yeah.
As a Mizzou Tiger running back, you had several records, including the most yards in a quarter, 104.
Mm-hmm.
All-time receptions in a season, 41, and a running back, 72. A wonderful 12-year NFL career that includes the Raiders, the Rams, the Steelers, the Raiders, Mizzou Hall of Fame in 2012, state championship at Hazelwood East. I love the fact that you coached Southern down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And you're a father to 4 wonderful daughters.
Yep. And a grandfather.
And, grandfather. How many grandchildren?
One granddaughter.
One granddaughter.
Yep.
That is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're often confused with another Mike Jones.
Yep.
And you are called your nickname is the Tackler.
Mm-hmm.
But based on just our initial conversation, I kind of get the feel that you enjoy the title or the name Dad and now Grandpa much more than the Tackler.
Amen.
Now, one of the things that I found doing a little bit of reading is that you're very much a person of faith and focus, both in life and on the field. How has your faith helped you with your self-discipline as an athlete, a coach, and as a person?
Well, you know what? Faith is a focal point of my life. You read the Bible, and there's so many different things in the Bible that will structure you in your life. Many times I've fallen short, I'll be honest with you, but you can get back on path, and that's the biggest thing. It's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you can get back up.
I tell my kids every time they fall off a bike, what do we do when we fall off? And their response, I hope, will always be, we get up and we try again.
Yep. And we learn from it.
Yep. What was your biggest road to Damascus moment as a person of faith?
You know what? That's a great question. You know, many times in your life, different things happen, and it's all right. My last year playing, one of the players was talking about, you know, he didn't know. He said he wasn't ready. His exact words was, I am still not doing right, so I'm gonna wait till I'm doing right to turn my life over. I'm like, well, that's never gonna happen. You're always gonna have problems. You're always gonna have issues. We fall short all the time. We just got to realize when we fall short, we have someone that loves us and takes care of us, and we just got to go back to them.
My cousin once said, you might know him, that we live our lives to glorify God, including our jobs. Did you ever think that your work on the football field was a form of giving glory?
You know what? The thing when you're young and playing sports, just like you think about when you were a young salesperson, a lot of times you think it's you, but as you progress in your life, you realize it absolutely wasn't you. It was God that was doing stuff for you. And so I think, sometimes as younger people, in whatever walk of life you're in, you tend to think it's more of you and less God. And as you get older, you start realizing it's all God and less of you. So, as a young person, hopefully, my mom and dad, they were very faithful in what they did. They married 55 plus years, 9 children, 40-something grandchildren. I mean, just a large family. But it had absolutely to do with faith that kept all of us together and kept us doing the right thing and going forward.
Wow. The foundation you started benefits disadvantaged youth in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that. How did that get started? How?
You know what? It happened for something that it was a bad situation that I thought we made good. My first childhood friend. Mm-hmm. When I first moved into the neighborhood I grew up in, where my mom's house is still at now. Within a week, I met someone, and think about this. This is in the early '70s.
Yeah.
So it's different then than now. I was 3 years old, and I met my best friend, and he was 2, and he came across the street to come in my yard, and we played together. I mean, you don't see that now.
No.
But the families in that area, my mom's house, the person across the street from us, the person next door to us, their families still live in that same location. So we become friends. His name's Kenny White. Kenny, my sister was his godmother and his brother's godmother. They were best friends with Kenny's mom and dad. They were about the same age as my sister, older sister. So as we grow, Kenny starts going down the wrong path. Gets in some trouble, ends up getting arrested and going to jail. He gets out, and when he's home, and I'll never forget this was Valentine's Day, 1993. He's at a place, 2 guys have an altercation, him and another guy. They shoot each other. He gets shot once. The other guy gets shot 3 times, so he's laying on the ground. Kenny takes off running. No one could find him. The next morning, they find his body, it's just sad, in the backyard we used to play in. So, it hit us hard. And my brother kept saying, I couldn't understand why he kept saying, he said, what are you going to do? And we grown men, and it's probably 20 of us that grew up together. We had his funeral crying, and, the night before, and he kept saying, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then he's like, you know what, you can do some bad things or you can do some good things. And we started, just start a foundation, try and figure out how to you can't save everyone, but you can save one person at a time. A better way of dealing with conflict. That's what the whole deal was. How do we deal with conflict? So, I was like, I was playing in the NFL at the time. I was like, let's do a free football camp. Every day we would do through football drills, stuff like that. And at the end of the day, we'll have a guest speaker come in to talk about conflict and how to resolve conflict, different things to make yourself better as a person. And that's where we started at. And, we ended up doing it for over 10 years. We impacted probably a couple thousand kids, of which we probably had 200 to 300 go play college football. We've had 5 guys go to the NFL. So it's just been a blessing, but it started off on a bad situation. We tried to make it into a good situation.
That ripple effect or that snowball effect.
Yeah. We talk about the circle, and a lot of times when you have a situation where there's a bad situation, it just repeats itself, and we haven't figured out how to stop that situation from being bad. So we thought about a way of how do we reverse what happened with Kenny, and so it won't happen to someone else. And hopefully we did that.
It is a neat thing, providing hope in general.
Yeah.
That there's alternative ways out there.
Absolutely, and there is, but I mean, there's better ways of doing things. That not everything doesn't fit in one block or one square peg or whatever it may be. There's different ways of doing different things, and there's other way of doing conflict, settling conflicts, and hopefully one of the ways was the way we did it.
It is neat. It's a sad story, but at least it's had good results.
Absolutely.
You lived in Pittsburgh in southern Louisiana, and we were talking earlier about that you wanted to take up a little bit of hunting.
At least try.
I mean, you're in where opening day of deer season in Pittsburgh is a high holy day.
Yeah.
And then down in southern Louisiana, we were talking about living down there where fishing and hunting is very much a thing.
Right.
Did you at least take up fishing at all?
I tried fishing, and it's funny. My dad, bless his soul, I was a kid that my friends would go fishing, so a couple of them went fishing. I didn't know nothing about fishing, so I asked them to take me fishing. So me and my nephew, so I got a nephew that's 3 years younger than me, and I had to be maybe 8, and he had to be probably 4 or 5. So we go out to this lake, and I don't even remember where it was at. And it's like July, middle of July. It's at noon, and it is burning up. Don't catch any fish. I was like, man, I'm never going fishing again. So I fast forward 20 years, and my uncle in St. Louis said, I want to take you fishing. It's like, all right. So I'll be over the house about 4:30. Like 4:30 in the afternoon? He said, no, 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, okay. So he takes me, he takes me out, he's showing me all these different things, and I start laughing. He's like, what are you laughing at? I said, my dad took me fishing, so I wouldn't want to ask him to go fishing again. So learned a little bit about fishing. The hunting part I haven't done yet. I keep saying I'm going to try it, I'm going to do it. So hopefully this deer season, I'm going to go out.
Well, now you have an orange hat to stay within state regulations for hunter safety, orange.
Yep.
We are going to take a brief break, and we will be right back with Mr. Mike Jones right after these messages.
Godfather, your guests have arrived.
Bring them in. So, you, my close friends, you come to me on a Wednesday. You want half-price beer and wine and appetizers? What?
Yes, Don LaRusso, we hear your 5 to 7 happy hour is very generous.
And your $5 martini, a thing of beauty.
You've all been friends of the family, each and every one of you. And family is always welcome in my cucina. Salute!
Take it easy.
Miracle workers is the only thing I can say. It's just the best gift in the world. And my husband and I are so grateful.
Go Fertility, where everyone has a chance to start a family.
Anyone can go home with a baby because we have the technology and we are here to help.
If you are struggling, just come see them. I'm so grateful I came, and I want other people to feel the same way.
Don't lose hope.
Don't wait. Start your family today at gofertility.com.
Funeral costs are rising every year, and more families are burdened with funeral costs when a loved one dies. You don't have to let that happen. Through the Funeral Advantage program, your family receives a life insurance cash benefit up to $20,000 in the event of your death. Qualifying's easy. There's no medical exam and no long forms to fill out. If you live in a qualifying state and you're between age 40 and 85, click now to get free info about the Funeral Advantage program.
Godfather, your guests have arrived.
Bring them in. So, you, my close friends, you come to me on a Wednesday. You want half-price beer and wine and appetizers? Why?
Yes, Don LaRusso, we hear your 5 to 7 happy hour is very generous.
And your $5 martini, a thing of beauty.
You've all been friends of the family, each and every one of you. And family is always welcome in my cucina. Ah, salute!
I'm Jayon Cooper, Executive Director and CEO of Our Kings and Queens Home Health. Our Kings and Queens Home Health has a team of personal care attendants who can, amongst other things, complete common household chores, assist with grooming and personal hygiene, meal prep, run errands, and fulfill shopping lists. To learn more about our full line of home health care services, visit our website or call our St. Louis or Kansas City office. We focus on your abilities, not your disabilities.
Hi, welcome back to Wild Wine Life. I'm Ray. I'm here with Mr. Mike Jones, the Tackle. And we are enjoying a little bit of Robert Mondavi Oakville Cabernet. You actually had an opportunity to meet the Mondavi family at the winery, didn't you?
Yeah, when I played with the Raiders, we had moved our training camp. Of course, the Raiders moved from L.A. They started in Oakland, and they moved to L.A. in the early 80s. In the mid-90s, we moved to Oakland, and our training camp was in Napa Valley. Our head coach is from Northern California, and he knew the Mondavi family. So one night during training camp, he took the whole team to the Mondavi winery. Robert Mondavi Jr. was there. He talked to us about the different wines and different things, and so it was a great experience.
That is neat. You know, the Mondavis, I was told, are avid deer hunters.
Oh, well, didn't know that, but that's good to know.
And then you told me your old boss, Mr. Vermeil, is an avid elk hunter?
He's an avid hunter. He loves hunting, but he really likes elk hunting. He'll go elk hunting once a year, him and some of his friends. So they'll go up and they'll go elk hunting. They have a little place that they go to, they used to go to, because they have great steaks and of course, elk meat and things like that. So they do a great job with the food, and they enjoy themselves doing it.
Must be a really rough life. Mm-hmm. Drink wine and hunt. Well, oh, wait a minute, that's the whole thing of Wild Wine Life.
There you go.
So you've traveled all over the United States, and even though you said you like your McDonald's, and there's nothing wrong with that, what is your favorite restaurant to visit as far as, you know, like this is my comfort food kind of place?
No, I'm a steak guy. I like a good steak. I like a good burger. Mm-hmm. You know, you go, you know, so there's a couple of things that you can't go wrong. I try and find what the best steak place is and go there and enjoy steak there. And again, like I told you about burgers and also barbecue. I enjoy some good barbecue as well.
So that actually, do you have a favorite style of barbecue? I mean, you have Kansas City versus St. Louis, that whole east-west thing. Mm-hmm. And do you kind of use both, or being a boy that, you know, homeboy from Kansas City, mm-hmm. is it more of the Kansas City influence at home for you? You know what,
it's a little bit of both. I mean, because you think about it, it's the barbecue is so, it's I don't want to say different. There are various ways of how you do it. You got the dry rub, you got the different types of rubs you put on your barbecue, how you take them, what part do you like, the rib, spare rib, or the baby back rib? So you got distinguishing that. You know, of course, the brisket. You know, everyone loves a good brisket. Preparing a brisket, so it's a lot of different things you can do to it. You know, even chicken. You think about it. Some people prefer breast compared to the quarters. So you know, so it's amazing how different. And then, are you make your own sauce, or do you mix your sauce with whatever sauce you use? You know, my dad used to do a mix of what he has with the mild sauce, and it's fun. You know, it's fun when you go on the grill and you cook and you taste the different flavors and say, oh man, that's pretty good, I'm gonna try it again. And most of the time when you barbecue, you as you well know, you kind of just throw stuff together, see how it's gonna taste. You got an idea, but you and that's the fun part about it. Oh man, I did something really good, but I didn't write it down, so now I gotta try it again. So, but that's the great thing about barbecuing. You can enjoy the cooking, enjoy the people around, enjoy everything that you're doing with it.
Now, I hope I don't get in trouble with this, but what I found funny is you go out west and they say they're barbecuing. And I'm like, no, you're grilling.
Yeah.
Or if you're boiling it before you put it on the grill, that's definitely, did you encounter that a lot out in Oakland?
No, you know what I saw, it was guys going on the grill and barbecuing, and especially LA and, you know, even Pittsburgh, you know, here in St. Louis. So, but there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, at times, you know, you're unable to, you know, at times I've cheated and put it slow cooked it in the oven, you know, and then put it on the grill to get the grill taste. And again, it's most of the time it's about the enjoyment of the people that's enjoying the food. It's not really that the food's bad. Hopefully you got good company, but hopefully you did a good job and the food's good and the company's good as well.
The communal aspect.
Yep, absolutely.
Here's a question for you. So you were quoted in saying, make the tackle when the opportunity presents itself.
Yep.
I thought that was really neat. And you also said that famous tackle was something that you've trained for your whole career, that to you it was just another tackle. I really like the quote since it applies to life in general, and it says something that every salesman should memorize. I mean, what would you say that is the biggest example of that quote in private life, in teaching that to either your children or to the people you coach?
I would say this: the biggest thing about that quote is that is a livable opportunity to teach people. Everyone can't be a great basketball player. Everyone can't be 6'8". I can go out there and work as hard as I possibly can and be the best I possibly can at whatever field I'm doing. And by doing that, you can show everyone else how to be the best you can be. And that's what it's all about. Whatever skill trait you have, if you're able to be the best at that, and 85% of it is hard work. You know, talented salespeople that they can remember stuff and do things just because they're just that talented.
Right.
You know, and everyone's not that. That's not even the 10%. That's the 0.1%. You know, and I play with guys. You like, yeah, I can't do that because I just don't have that skill. But I can go out there every day and get better at what I do and be the best I can be at that skill trait. And that's what I always tell everyone: be the best of what you can be. Play where your feet are. That's one of the things Nick Saban says. Play where your feet are. I can't play over there, my feet are right here. I got to do what I'm supposed to do here to get over there. And that's the best way I would probably address it. Be where your feet are, excel where your feet are, love where your feet are.
Okay. That is really focus. Outwork everybody.
You can, and anybody can do that. That's not a talent. You know, sometimes people say it's a talent. You work hard. No, you work as hard as you possibly can. You can get really good at it, but that's everyone can do that.
We will be right back after these messages with more Wild Wine Life and Mr. Mike Jones, the tackle.
Godfather, your guests have arrived.
Bring them in. So, you, my close friends, you come to me on a Wednesday. You want half-price beer and wine and appetizers? Why?
Yes, Don LaRusso, we hear your 5 to 7 happy hour is very generous.
And your $5 martini, a thing of beauty.
You've all been friends of the family, each and every one of you. And family is always welcome in my cucina.
Salute!
Take it easy.
Miracle Workers is the only thing I can say. It's just the best gift in the world. And my husband and I are so grateful.
Go Fertility, where everyone has a chance to start a family.
Anyone can go home with a baby because we have the technology and we are here to help.
If you are struggling, just come see them. I'm so grateful I came, and I want other people to feel the same way.
Now, don't lose hope.
Don't wait. Start your family today at gofertility.com.
Funeral costs are rising every year, and more families are burdened with funeral costs when a loved one dies. You don't have to let that happen. Through the Funeral Advantage program, your family receives a life insurance cash benefit up to $20,000 in the event of your death. Qualifying's easy. There's no medical exam and no long forms to fill out. If you live in a qualifying state and you're between age 40 and 85, click now to get free info about the Funeral Advantage program.
I'm Jayon Cooper, Executive Director and CEO of Our Kings and Queens Home Health. Our Kings and Queens Home Health has a team of personal care attendants who can, amongst other things, complete common household chores, assist with grooming and personal hygiene, meal prep, run errands, and fulfill shopping lists. To learn more about our full line of home health care services, visit our website or call our St. Louis or Kansas City office. We focus on your abilities, not your disabilities.
Welcome back to Wild Wine Life. I'm Ray Maxwell. I'm here with Mr. Mike Jones, the Tackle. Mike, how are you enjoying these wines so far?
Very good, very good.
And what I like about the Mondavi Oakville is I tell people it's probably one of the biggest values coming out of Napa. I mean, you're talking all declassified Tocolon fruit at an incredible price. Wonderful with that wild game or your favorite steak next time you're at a steakhouse.
Okay, well, we'll try it.
And we ought to do a barbecue sometime with a Comfort Red.
Okay.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you coming here, being a guest here on Wild Wine Life. I hope I can get you to come back again and share some more stories and some more wine.
Absolutely. We'd love to come back.
Cheers very much.
Cheers.
I'm Ray. Thank you for joining us. Please share us with your friends and invite them to like Wild Wine Life and the Odd TV network. Until then, here's to living the dream.